once we're done and this, the lake fills, that'll just be filling basically from springs.
Sure.
Or inflows, however it's planned. Streams or springs. And so when we talk about a fracture, water coming through fractures, the engineer, geologist is going to call it a fracture. I'm going to call it a spring.
It's all in the nomenclature.
Right.
But yeah, we've got to do an entire hydrologic model of this area, and that's what we're in the throes of now. We're collecting data from various points throughout here. We've got groups out there taking the water samples, seeing what the flow is in, at what level is it coming in, what the water temperatures are doing, and we build a model. And what that model then does is tries to mimic what's happening right now. And once they tweak it and it looks the same and the data that they've received for this area matches what the data the model's giving out, then you can say that model's good. Then they take the model and they take out this portion of it and they say, okay, now what's the effect? Then they take out this portion of it and they say, okay, how's that affecting it? And then at the end they take it and they fill it back in and say, how's that affecting it? And so you've got the effects of everything. And then that model sits there and reiterates and runs and runs and runs. So maybe in 100 years, 150 years, 200 years, you can then project what the effect this had on that water flow. And then that has to be reported as well in part of the permitting. I think there's a farming operation somewhere right in this area. And of course their concern is, right in
We've
there.
got high capacity wells drawing water out of them.
Yeah. And so their fear is that we're going to dry their wells. Okay, we need to show that on the model that it does, or it doesn't. And if it does, and we can't find a solution to keep them in water, then we don't get a permit because we've affected somebody else. If it shows that there is no effect on them, then they keep their well, they keep farming, and we get a mine. So it's a permitted. So it's, that's kind of how the trade-off is and how we work with each other on it. Sure.
Which is why, we talk about the opposition. Right now, it's a little early to oppose something when you don't know.
That's why
Well,
your
what the
models
facts
are why
are.
you're doing the studies to find out.
And the luxury that a lot of opponents have is they can talk about whatever they want to talk about and speculate on whatever they want to speculate about, build hysteria about things, and they're not responsible for it. If they're shown wrong, no big deal. We have to speak from knowledge, science, what we've actually gained from the testing. And as Bill says, the bottom line is we haven't put in a permit yet. We've got, we're going to be in the field over a year just gathering data before we can even apply for a permit to mine. And then all that data is going to be public. I'll probably be on our website, and it's public for well over a year.
Almost a year and a half.
Year and a half almost before any decision's made. So everybody's going to have their chance to debate the issue with real facts when those facts are known. Right now, all we're doing is, we're drilling wells to find out what the water's doing. We're drilling rock to find out what's in the rock. Anything else right now is kind of speculation.